Lie angle balance putters are dominating the golf headlines and I love it. However, so many people are making grave mistakes when it comes to their lie angle balance putter. So today I'm going to give you 3 top tips to utilize a lie angle balance putter correctly. And guys, I'm going to get straight in with it. The first one is make sure you get the right one. Now, club fitting is very important. We all know that. We all know just how vital getting your correct driver specs are, making sure that you've got the correct gram shaft and the correct torsional stiffness shaft and the correct lie angle and the correct everything with your driver. But so many people don't think about this when it comes to the putter, and even if you're buying online, you can still kind of do a bit of a fit in, send in a video to the guys at Lab and they'll help you with it. Now, one of the things that I've really enjoyed with using a lie angle balance putter so far, and you can see here that I've got the Lab Oz 1 HS, is I do feel like it just makes it way more simple for me, because I think I put my best when I am being more simple with it. So for me, I want to make sure that I'm lining the ball up and then I want to think about pace, and that's generally it. That's what this does for me with the new HS model. You can see I've got a little bit of Billy's name on it as well, which is nice. That's my son's name. So if you are going to do that, then you might as well have something that you like, hadn't you? But realistically, when it comes to using a lie angle balance putter like this, I had a bit of a mistake, Bob, because I was under the assumption that because it's like, and I wonder if a lot of people do this as well, you know, and guys, get in the comments below if you've done this as well, but I felt like, especially when I was using the Mez 1, because it's lie angle balance, the face shouldn't rotate as much. I don't know why I thought that in my head, but that's exactly what I was thinking. So I was actually trying to take the putter away and keep it pretty square. Now, that's not what lie angle balance, but it's not what it's ever meant, and of course it's not what a low torque putter is designed for as well. So it's really important to allow that putter, once you've lined it up, to still rotate on the arc and still start moving around yourself. You can see just how good that roll was, and for me, that's something that I've built into my game. I've built that confidence into my game. I actually played the other day 18 holes of golf, shot 2 over par, which I was quite happy with, to be fair, but I putted hit and miss. I holed par putts and didn't hold the birdie putts, which is just kind of the story of my life realistically. But one of the big things that I think is really important, and what I tried to stop doing, was guiding the putter through any kind of artificial stroke. So I still want to have that ball position nicely forward of centre, and I still want to make sure that from here I'm allowing that club face just to rotate a little bit and work on the arc, and you can see just how consistent the roll's being. Now, at this time of year, I mean, the greens are fantastic here at Whalley Park Golf. They do an incredible job, but you've still got to think, well, it's November next week, isn't it? That is really depressing. This week, but do your best, put your roll on it. This isn't a top tip for a low top putter, but it's a top tip for anyone playing golf at the moment who are in the trenches of winter golf. Don't manipulate your stroke to hit the ball because the greens are maybe a little bit slower. Not that these are slow, they're actually rolling really nicely. But one of the big things that I want you to all do is think about how you stand to the putter. So one of the things that I mentioned earlier on is to make sure you try and get fitted if you can. I was very lucky to go over to the guys at Lab HQ in Oregon, and we had a fantastic trip. And I designed this putter around how I want to putt, because I'm aware that obviously putting is the only thing you can really practice at home unless you do have a simulator. But I feel like I put my best when I do stand a little bit closer to it, and you can see the lie angle dictates that. The putter's quite upright, and I like having almost the heel of the putter in the air, because from here, all I think about is how far back do I move it, and then release the putter to let it go. I've aimed that one left for some reason, I don't know why, but I'm really happy with the pace on that one. And you can see that even from 12 feet here, all I'm thinking is, am I in the correct setup? Because if I'm in the correct setup here, that makes it a lot easier to do my job, and from there I can release that putter as I want to and start to hit better putts. It's going south quick this, Bob, isn't it, realistically? But we're going to move, because I feel like I'm leaving footmarks on the greens, and I don't want to do that in winter either. But the third part of this for me is just thinking about pace, thinking about distance, because it's so easy when you are in the world of lie angle balance and low torque and zero torque and everything else to think, you know what, this has to go in because it's a low torque putter, it's the world's most forgiving putter realistically. how can I not hole everything? That's not what you need to be thinking about. You need to be thinking about, so here, I think this moves right to left now. We've moved around the axis just a little bit. So let's have a go at this putt and see exactly what I mean, because from here, this is where when I played the other day, I was like doing okay. I wouldn't say that I holed the world, but I kept the round going and managed to get like 34 Stableford points, which again really isn't too bad at this time of year. But what I made sure was that I'm thinking more about stroke length, because if I get the pace correct, I wouldn't fancy 3-putting from here, but I do think it's possible. And if I ever did that, I think I'd be really mad at myself and not forgive myself. So thinking about how far back the putter goes with the correct, what was the terminology you used, Bob? Tempo, that's it. Thinking about that tempo and thinking about, right, so from here at 10, 12 feet away, I think my putter stroke wants to finish around here. You can see how that works a little bit on the inside. You can see the club face rotates nicely, and then when I've hit the putt, I want it to finish there. So you can see that I've finished just outside the left foot. It's lipped out a little bit, but realistically what I don't want to do is have a short and long putt like this, and I don't want to have a really long and then deceleration putt there. There's a key art to this and a fact to it, because when I was in the doldrums of putting really, really badly before I actually got myself a low torque putter, Chris really tried hard with me on getting sure that my stroke was that little bit better. So realistically now, from here, I want to make sure that I'm still doing that. So I'm stood nice and close, and from here I can just allow that putter to release. Because as soon as you release the putter, that's when you can get the true roll on the golf ball. And if you get the roll on the golf ball, you can then start to give yourself, how's that lipped out again? But you can give yourself the correct feedback. And the correct feedback when you're out playing 18 holes is vital to making sure you lower your scores. If you're out here just doing what I'm doing now and having a bit of a practice, realistically, you can start to just think, right, so where have these gone? I think that was the one that I used in an example, to be honest, so we'll move that. But from here, I'm quite happy with all of those. I think one of them took a bobble, one of them lipped out. You would hope here from 10 feet to generally hole half, would you hope to? I think tour average is around half from 12 feet. So realistically, I'm not on tour. I'm not going to be part of those tour averages. There's actually a really subtle little break on this as well, which does keep catching me out, but we're not going to move. We're going to stay here. And my key now is to have, first of all, the correct roll on the golf ball. That's why even when I'm practicing, I line the golf ball up, so I'm getting the feedback on the roll. But then also I want to make sure that it's around a foot past the hole if it misses. So from here, I'm working on that pace. I'm working on, we've got one. That was so satisfying because the ball's going end over end over end. And I actually feel like realistically there, I've had the perfect stroke. And if it would have missed, it would have been just around a foot past. So again there, you can start to see, missed it a little bit. Maybe it took a bobble, maybe I pulled it a touch, but it's that perfect pace. And I can really start to hole more putts with my line goal balanced putter. Guys, if you've enjoyed that, please make sure you do hit that subscribe button below. Thank you so much for the support so far on this channel, and we'll see you all very, very soon. Goodbye.